is a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.
Welcome, everyone, to one of college football's greatest traditions, the Red River Showdown from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, equidistant between the campuses of the University of Texas and Oklahoma. Today, the 109th meeting in this rivalry between the Longhorns and the Sooners. They've been playing each other since 1900, and since 1929, they've met every year in this historic venue with the 92,000 tickets put right down the middle, literally, between the two schools. This year, Texas is the visiting team, and the Longhorns take the field. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Sean McDonough, along with the College Football Hall of Famer Chris Spielman, will be joined in a moment by Todd McShay. Delighted to have you with us. As you can tell, as always in this game, the atmosphere is festive, despite the fact that both teams come in off a loss for the first time since 2007. In the case of Oklahoma, Chris, they were number 4 a week ago, now number 11. A lot of work to do to get back into the college football playoff picture. Bob Stoops says that's still alive, but they have to win out.
Well, they do, and the one thing they have to do, Sean, they didn't do last week, is they had critical mistakes on third down defense, both mental and physical. On offense, look, you're Trevor Knight. You got to be better than 54.5% completion rate. In this day and age of college football, that's not good enough.
No, indeed, it is not. It was a factor last week in their loss at TCU against a very good Horned Frog team. Down on the field, here's Todd.
And Trevor Knight, guys, is still a work in progress. When you look at him on tape, when the run game's working, it sets up a lot of easy reads and a lot of easy throws against man-to-man coverage. But when it's not, I just don't think he's at that point yet where he can carry this team. Now, when you look at him, first of all, mechanically, he's getting sloppy with his footwork. We saw that last week. You see how wide he opens with that left foot. It opens the body, and that affects the throw. The ball sails, incompletion on it, what should have been an easy throw. Then here in his read, you're going to have a wide receiver coming underneath. He sees the safety and assumes he's going to run off and carry that tight end, the post corner, but he doesn't wait long enough. The results in interception. Now, he can run. He's got a big-time arm, but if I'm Texas today, I'm trying to put him in as many third and long situations, so they've got to load up against the run and do very well on those early downs.
And Todd, as you know, the strength of this Texas team to this point of the year has been defense. They're very disappointing 2 and 3, but Charlie Strong has thrown 9 players off the team. That hasn't helped them on the field. They need some confidence, and a big win today would help.
Well, they do, and on offense, they can't have any self-inflicted wounds. For example, the fumble on the goal line before the half last week. Also on defense, they're 99th in rush defense. That's not good enough, but their scoring defense is at 19.2. That's okay. And they have to be able to run the ball. They can do that with Malcolm Brown and Jonathan Gray.
The Longhorns were a 2-touchdown underdog last year and upset the Sooners. They're trying to do it again today. Overcast day in Dallas. The kickoff in a moment. And we're back at the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma won the toss and deferred, so Texas elected to receive the kickoff. And it is a touchback. Banged into the back of the end zone by Nick Hodgson. So here's Tyrone Swoops, the quarterback from up the road in White Wright, Texas. He's a distant cousin to the great WNBA star Cheryl Swoops. Became the starter in week 2 when David Ash had to retire from football due to recurring concussions. 1 and 3 as the starter is Tyrone Swoops. They elect to start on the right hash mark with 3 wide receivers, and they flip it to Jackson Shipley, and he stumbled across the 29, down just shy of the 30, with Ahmad Thomas nearest for Oklahoma.
One way to attack Oklahoma, the strong inside middle defenders run outside to loosen them up, then come back with a hard inside run.
They get up to the line relatively quickly. And movement along the line of scrimmage.
Ball start, number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Marcus Hutchins The left tackle guilty of the false start, and probably the biggest problem that Texas has on offense is the inexperienced offensive line. As you can see, the veterans are Cedric Flowers and Kent Perkins, each making just his 7th career start. Taylor Doyle's a new starter at center today. He's moved from guard to center. They had some difficulty at that position. Shipley the catch, banged out of bounds by a native of this area, Zach Sanchez from Fort Worth. Just shy of the first down marker. 3rd down and 2 for the Longhorns.
It's a good call by Sean Watson to give Swoops a 1-read look. Throw the ball on time and on rhythm. And saw the corner playing off, just a little out cut. Get his confidence going early, and Swoops.
They've struggled on 3rd down, 32% for the year. And a big hole created by that young offensive line. One of the strengths of the team, the running backs. Malcolm Brown got that carry. He'll split time with Jonathan Gray.
It starts off with a nice double team on Big Jordan Phillips, number 80, between the center and the guard, able to create penetration backwards and hitting the hole with some power.
Swoops handed it off to Malcolm Brown. Look at his effort. Driving forward, the ball's out. No whistles on the play. Clinton Hayes going the other way for an Oklahoma touchdown. Ahmad Thomas ripped it out. So many defensive scores in this rivalry, so often a big part of this game, and we have one already today.
See Ahmad Thomas understanding that he's the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th guy in on the tackle, is not going for a hit, but working his arms right to the ball where Malcolm Brown has it and rips it out. You don't want to question the effort of Malcolm Brown, but you also want to say, look, you're not getting any more yards. Just get down on the ground and ball security, #1 rule.
They are reviewing it.
Don, hear me?
And I believe they might rule
Don, can you hear me?
that Brown's knees were down after looking at that replay. Charlie Strong upset about it. You have to give the officials credit, Chris.
Yes,
Brown was moving forward, fighting for every inch, and they didn't blow the whistle prematurely. The question is, was his knee down before the ball came out? Because the whistle had not sounded.
Yeah, I think he's down right there, Sean. Then the ball is out. Got to believe that this is going to come back. And I just want, the effort is great. I mean, the Texas kids, they're ready to play today. Oklahoma's ready to play. And I love the alertness of the Oklahoma defense. Ahmad Thomas coming in and still working at that football and finally got it out. Perseverance. Let's see if you can see that left knee
Still
hit.
has the ball there.
Elbow
to tell
down.
if the knee's down because the arm there of one of the defenders, I believe it's Dom Alexander, is under the leg of Brown.
And see that right elbow? It looks like that right elbow is on the ground when the ball is out. Or is it coming out?
Don Capel is the replay official. This Big 12 officiating crew. Alan Eck, the referee, on the headset to the replay booth. We mentioned defensive scores a part of this game last year. Gino Grissom of Oklahoma had an interception return for a touchdown. 54 yards. Ken Rivera's in the booth with us, coordinator of officials for the Mountain West Conference. Ken, what'd you see?
Well, it looks like we're looking to see if the knees or elbows down before the ball comes out. I think that's pretty tough to see for sure. I'm not sure that we have enough evidence to overturn that.
That's a part of the problem that Texas has, is the self-inflicted wounds if this is not overturned. And they have that lack of confidence, Sean, and that's something they need. Something right needs to go their way. And Charlie told us in the meeting that we've got to get a break somewhere, somehow, and this might be the break that they need if it is called back.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with Ken Rivera. My conclusion would be, if you had to bet your life on it, that he was down, but there still needs to be the video evidence to support that. And it's very tough from the number of angles, and we've had a number of angles, to tell if his knees were down before that ball got ripped out. And the fact that it's taken this long and there hasn't been a ruling would say to me that Don Capral believes it wasn't conclusive, because if it was conclusive, you would think he would arrive at that conclusion faster than this.
Well, we looked at the replay and it looked like the knee had a better chance of being down before the elbow. I think the ball was coming out when the right elbow hit. As you see right here, there's the effort. Now there's
left elbow.
Left knee is down.
Well, that's the question, is it? You can't see his left knee there. And Alexander has his arm around the right thigh of Brown. That might have kept the right knee off the ground. Well, it's a Texas team that could really use a break, that's for sure.
After further review, the ball carrier's knee was on the ground before he lost possession of the ball. It's Texas ball, 2nd down and 6 at the Texas 47-yard line. The game clock will be reset to 13:26. 13:26.
And that's part of the reason why it can take a while. They have to figure out where the ball should be spotted and what the time on the clock should be. Well, I'm inclined to agree with Ken Rivera. I think they got it right. I think if you had to bet, his knee was down, but I'm not sure we ever saw a replay of it that demonstrated that conclusively. Well, Texas needed a break, and perhaps it just caught one. M.J. McFarland, a tight end, was the motion man, and now a flag down to the line of scrimmage.
Ball start. Number 82. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Jeff Swain out there as part of the 2 tight end formation.
Tyrone Stoops right now has a chance to show a little bit of leadership inside that huddle. Just tell everybody, settle down, I got this, and get that team to have confidence in you. Let them know you're in control.
Well, undoubtedly he has to be nervous. He knows the magnitude of this game. He grew up about an hour away in White Wright, Texas, north of here up toward the Oklahoma border. He's on target to Marcus Johnson, who goes out of bounds just shy of midfield. And Swoops admitted that he was nervous last week against Baylor, particularly when he took some big hits. He had a couple of key mistakes in that game, including the lost fumble when they were on the 1-yard line going in the last minute of the first half. It looked like they were going to tie the score at 7-7 after the defense played a tremendous first half against the Baylor Bears. The only touchdown for Baylor in the first half was on a blocked field goal return. Baylor pulled away in the second half. 3rd and 6. Swoops got it off, and it's caught, and it's a first down. Ja'Cory Warren, sophomore from Houston, his 4th catch of the season.
Good job of staying patient in the pocket. Swoops could have tucked it and run and maybe got the first down. Instead, he shuffled his feet into a good throwing position and was able to throw the dart to get the first down and keep the chains moving.
Jonathan Gray, the running back now. And he gets his first carry of the day, and he's in big trouble. Nowhere to run, and dumped for loss back at the 50-yard line. Quentin Hayes, the safety.
That was the first play, guys, that they did not double team Jordan Phillips, number 80, the massive defensive tackle, the nose tackle for the Sooners defense. The only other play they didn't, it was when they rolled out away from him. So they've had a plan for Phillips every single play except for this last play when he was in on the tackle for loss.
Yeah, they need to go back to the plan on double teaming him on runs, because that's not going to work.
Brown and Gray both in the backfield. Swoops over the middle. John Harris, first down. to the Oklahoma 35. Dominique Alexander and Ahmad Thomas. The stop. It's a 15-yard gain.
Look at number 26, Jordan Evans. He's going to run past the receiver and cover dirt. Anytime you're playing in the zone, you have to play a little bit of a matchup. Find the open guy, not the open area, and jump him. It's a good read again by Stoops and Harris to sit it down, recognizing the zone coverage as opposed to running across the field.
Ninth play of the drive. And more movement along the line of scrimmage.
False start. Number 82. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Swaim needs to learn the snap count, apparently. 3 false starts already. Charlie Strong's team's been able to overcome them. First season at Texas. His 2-3 start through 5 games is the worst start for Texas since 1993. They were 1-3-1 that year under John Makovic. And he is trying to set a tone, raise the level of discipline on and off the field. 9 players dismissed, 3 others suspended.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Oh, that time went by quickly. And I admire what he's doing. It's difficult to do. I mean, you want to come in, you want to win in a place like Texas, especially with so much scrutiny. And the hiring of Charlie Strong closely scrutinized from the very beginning. It would have been easy to keep some of those players who were borderline in terms of the discipline. Swoops a deep ball down the sideline and a diving catch by Shipley.
Starts off with the recognition of man-to-man coverage. They're going to run a little wheel switch route, and Shipley just is going to outrun Thomas. And I love the fact that Swoops, it could have been a little more accurate, but he put the ball where only his guy can get it, and that's the most reliable receiver Texas has on its roster, Jackson Shipley.
He's their leading receiver for the year. That was a 32-yard gain. Swoops is 6 for 6. Malcolm Brown fights to the 10-yard line. Matthew Romar, backup defensive tackle, made the stop. Swoops has a history of this. He completed his first 8 passes against BYU and his first 11 passes against UCLA. He's off to a 6 for 6 start today against the Sooners. Brown managed to get away from Jordan Phillips, who still had excellent penetration. Again, they try to rip the ball out very late. Gino Grissom doing some woofing now with Brown. So another 3rd down.
Well, they got to go back to that double team on Jordan Phillips, Sean. You can't handle that guy one-on-one. He's too big and he's too athletic. He's the perfect size and athletic ability guy to play that nose guard position. Creates a lot of problems for the offensive line.
They're 3 for 3 on this drive, despite the 3rd down problems all year long. Swoops, back corner of the end zone, up for grabs and incomplete. Broken up by Zach Sanchez, intended for John Harris. Well, they kept the ball for nearly half of the first quarter, but the Longhorns will have to settle for a field goal try.
It's a beautiful job by Sanchez not jumping underneath. And I love the fact that Swoops threw up the jump ball, Todd.
Yeah, and they're doing a nice job, Oklahoma is, in terms of dropping guys into coverage, that when they got here in the red zone, they wanted to make the quarterback, Swoops, make decisions inside the pocket.
They've struggled with field goals. Nick Rose just 3 out of 7, and that one is good from 28 yards. I don't think the back judge liked the blast from right behind him where the Texas band is stationed. Jackson Shipley, some big catches on the opening drive, and the Longhorns lead 3-0. #109th meeting all time in this great rivalry between 2 of college football's heavyweights. Texas leads all time. The Horns won last year, ending a 3-game losing streak in this rivalry. Oklahoma's won 9 of the last 14. And those 9 wins by an average of 26 points. They put some major beatdowns on the Longhorns in recent years. Texas on the board first here today. And Nick Rose will kick off. Short kick down to the 10-yard line to Alex Ross, leading the country in kickoff returns, and he is off to the races. 91 yards, touchdown Oklahoma. Now, Trevor Knight will have to wait a while to take the field, and he doesn't mind. Second kickoff return for a touchdown this year for Alex Ross, the sophomore from Jenks, Oklahoma. He brought one back 100 for a score at West Virginia. Had an 80-yard kickoff return in their opener against Louisiana Tech. The extra point's good by Michael Honeycutt. And the special teams really hurting Texas again.
Well, when you play special teams or defense for the matter, you cannot be on the ground. Adrian Colbert, number 26, is on the ground. That's his lane. That lane was exposed, and Alex Ross knew the only thing I have to do is to beat a kicker. And guess what? I'll go down in history in this rivalry.
91 yards for Ross, who came in averaging 41.4 yards per kickoff return to lead the nation. And that average is going to go up. He might be the fastest player on the team. You get a debate from the Oklahoma people whether it's Alex Ross or the safety Quentin Hayes, but you'd take either one of them in a relay race on your team for sure. And Chris, Texas in need of a good start, got it, and then that happened.
And that's the breakdowns, and they've struggled on all 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams, and they're just giving away points and not giving any teams the opportunity to earn those points against them. Too many big plays.
So Hodgson to kick off. 70% of his kickoffs this year have been touchbacks. And Roderick Bernard elected not to bring that one out. The crowd on the Texas side didn't like that decision. Well, how about the keys to victory for Texas today, Chris?
Well, they get a chance to respond to adversity right now. When they get in the red zone, they have to score. They did get the field goal. They have to have a plan for Stryker and Phillips, especially on pass rush. And the problem they've had a lot this year is to avoid that second half collapse. But let's look at number 1. Respond to adversity. Here we go.
Tyrone Swoops will start with Jonathan Gray behind him. 2 tight ends, Jeff Swaim and M.J. McFarland. Swoops got it off. 4th catch already for Jackson Shipley. Dominique Alexander made the tackle, but it's a gain of 11 and a Texas first down.
Sean, they went with a bunch formation. Sean Watson told us that they had trouble against TCU. That's 3 receivers all clustered at the line of scrimmage. It's designed to create confusion, especially in man coverage and zone coverage. And right now, Oklahoma has not fixed the problem from last week.
They have a 37 in their loss in Fort Worth, back in the Metroplex for the 2nd week in a row. Swoops throws it away. Pressured by Jordan Evans, having a terrific year. Sophomore from Norman. Legacy, his dad, Scott Evans, was an outstanding defensive tackle, all Big 8 back in the late 80s for the Sooners. Plenty of time for Swoops. Short throw, and Shipley banged down by Quentin Hayes. We've seen a couple of slips for Swoops when he's tried to set his feet in the pocket. We had heavy rain here last night. It's amazing the change in the weather. It was 92 degrees here at the Cotton Bowl yesterday. It was 63 at kickoff after the cold front moved through and brought some severe weather to much of this area. It's a natural grass field, and as you can see, there are some clumps coming up. On 3rd and 6, Stoops had to pitch it quickly with the pressure, and Jonathan Gray got nothing. Jordan Evans again with help from Dom Alexander.
Boy, if Marcus Hutchins, number 65, gets his block, this is off to the races. TCU ran this last week against the red zone, and just Marcus could not get his block. Jordan Evans did a great job avoiding the block and making a tackle for his teammates. He's a striker. Along with Striker, he'll strike you.
William Russ is the punter. First year as the starting punter as a senior from Shreveport. He's had a decent year, averaging just under 44 per punt. Erling Shepard back deep. This is a short one. Flag thrown. Shepard dropped immediately by Jordan Hicks. .34-yard punt.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Number 7 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
So we're nearly 9 minutes into the game, and Trevor Knight, the offense of Oklahoma, will take the field for the first time.
ESPN College Football on ABC. Brought to you by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And the Lincoln Motor Company and the first ever MKC.
Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay, all of us on our crew want to wish Mr. Spielman a happy 49th birthday today.
Wow, thank you. And what a better place to spend it. I don't know. This is awesome. My first one. Atmosphere is great. Energy's here.
Trevor Knight on the field for the first time with the Oklahoma offense. They lead 7-0 after an Alex Ross kickoff return for a touchdown. Samaje Perine gets the first play from scrimmage, and Malcolm Brown tripped him up for the Texas Longhorns. Perine is the leading rusher in the Big 12 as a freshman, averaging 101 yards per game. Powerful. 5'11", 243 pounds. Knight playing in this Oklahoma-Texas game for the first time. He was injured last year. Blake Bell played quarterback. Perine stuffed to the line of scrimmage, led by Jordan Hicks, the senior linebacker from Cincinnati.
Jordan's having a great year. He's been riddled with injuries, but he's been waiting for this game, this opportunity. Does a good job of scraping off, and you see a lot of white helmets getting in that football. And I'm telling you, you need a lot of white helmets to bring Perine down.
He's the leading tackler for the year. Hicks coming back from an Achilles injury last year. Perine with a lot of work to do, and he gets corralled by Steve Edmond. Three-yard loss and a 3-and-out for Trevor Knight and the Oklahoma offense.
It's good coverage downfield, and Edmond does a good job of following and tracking Trevor Knight's eyes, which leads him right to Perine, and Edmond is able to make a good, solid open field tackle by wrapping up.
Ed Barnett on the punt for the Sooners. Jackson Shipley back deep. He signals for a fair catch and then backed away. Don't know if he lost sight of the ball or started to slip, but that was a costly mistake. He couldn't catch it. Probably cost him about 20 yards. Oklahoma leads 7-3 in the first quarter here in Dallas. The eyes of college football on Texas, including the Red River Showdown, which is underway. 99 miles south of here, 3:30 Eastern time on ABC. TCU and Baylor. The Horned Frogs number 9 after they beat Oklahoma last week. And then tonight at 9 on ESPN, Ole Miss off the win against Alabama is at Texas A&M. Cedric Flowers took off early.
Number 66, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
5 offensive penalties against Texas.
Yeah, that whole drive coach Strong crazy. I looked over at the sidelines and his hands just kind of flew out. Said, "What are you guys doing?" Those are the self-inflicted wounds that this team needs to avoid, because now you're in a field position battle.
4 false starts, 1 delay a game on the Texas offense. Swoops. He's in the clear. They have an angle, and he's not a speed burner. Sanchez runs him down with help from Julian Wilson. Flag down way back at the 27-yard line.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from spot of foul. Replay, first down.
73-yard run wiped out on a hold against the wide receiver John Harris.
There's Harris right here. Now he's going to have his hands outside. He's got it on Zach Sanchez. Right there, if he did not pull the jersey, Sean, you have to be disciplined enough to let that go. And by him pulling the jersey right there, slowed him down just enough for Swoops to pull away before Sanchez could reel him back in. Discipline, that's part of the deal when you're blocking downfield.
No doubt about the call. Charlie Strong didn't like it, but officials have to throw the flag on that play. 6th offensive penalty. Malcolm Brown got banged down by Jordan Evans and Ahmad Thomas.
Does it seem to you, Sean, this team is playing with a little bit more confidence on offense? And I think the reason why is because number 18, Swoops, has gotten off to a good start, and they've been able to establish something on the ground. They don't look like the 94th ranked rushing offense in the NCAA right now.
They found a little bit of rhythm rushing the ball last week. They ran for 190 yards against Baylor. That was a season high. Averaged almost 5 yards per carry. Marcus Johnson couldn't catch it. And here's Robert Flores in the studio.
All right, Sean, AT&T inside the headset. Battle of heartthrob head coaches in Cliff Kingsbury and Dana Holgerson, Texas and West Virginia. Devin Lauderdale gets some great blocking downfield. He goes in for the touchdown. Red Raiders up 13-3, late first quarter in Lubbock.
I don't know if I've ever heard Dana Holgerson described as a heartthrob, but I'm sure he appreciates it.
I'm Brad Pitt if he's a heartthrob.
Swoops down the middle, incomplete. Intended for John Harris. So Texas will punt. William Russ. Sterling Shepard back deep. First-year punt returner, still getting comfortable in the role. They averaged 14 yards per punt return last year with Jalen Saunders back there. Shepard averaging just under 6 yards per punt return, makes a fair catch of a 43-yard punt. Tonight on ABC, the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup title continues its race 2 of the contender round. At the end of this round, 4 more drivers will be eliminated. They will no longer be contenders. Don't miss the Bank of America 500 from Charlotte tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC.
Money on JJ.
Is that a bank fund? Or you just stumble into one? But, you know, at 49, you're still very sharp. Your beautiful wife, Carrie, texted me today to say you're actually 50 and you started lying about your age.
No, not yet.
Maybe she's confused. Trevor Knight I don't know if that's a busted play or just an awkward fake with a running back who was not near the quarterback. Nashawn Hughes was putting pressure on Knight, who threw it away.
Well, Nashawn Hughes is not confused by any type of actually poor play action, and Nashawn's able to cut off his pursuit angle and get on the pursuit angle tonight to force the throwaway. It's just a play action pass gone awry.
Not the way it was designed, with the running back that far away from the apparent fake. 2nd and 10. Alex Ross tripped up by Malcolm Brown. He is an outstanding defender. They lost Desmond Jackson in the middle of that defensive line, and that was a big blow. He injured his foot against UCLA in Game 3 and had surgeries out for the year, but Brown remains a stand-up. Five snaps on offense for the Sooners so far. 1 yard net. Everybody standing on that defensive front for Texas. A little screen to Ross, and he's yanked down immediately by Jordan Hicks. The Texas defense is playing well enough to beat teams of this caliber. They were terrific last week against Baylor.
They're playing with their hair on fire. They're flying to the football, and they're in good position to make plays. They're not trying to do what they're not supposed to do. They're playing within their framework.
Jed Barnett punts again over along the far sideline and out of bounds. No chance for Jackson Shipley to return it. Charlie Strong replaced the legendary Mack Brown, dismissed 9 players, then lost their returning starting quarterback David Ash with recurring concussions. They're 2-3, their worst 5-game record since 1993. And Charlie Strong says we just need some confidence. Players are good enough to win. They need some good things to start happening. He didn't like the spot on that punt out of bounds either. They marked it at the 22. Jonathan Gray turns the corner and got corralled by Jordan Evans.
I think it's important to point out with Charlie, just going back to that 1 second, Sean, is he doesn't want to throw guys off. He's giving guys opportunity after opportunity to make a choice. If they don't make the choice, then he has no choice but to get rid of them.
Well, the rules are very clear. He has the 5 core values that are posted everywhere around the Texas facilities. Gray taken down by Charles Tapper. So we're here to educate young men and get them ready for the rest of their lives. But at a certain point, when you continue to violate these core values, you're not going to be around. He wants to be honest, treat women with respect, stay away from drugs, stealing, and guns. That seems easy enough.
Sure does. I know he'll be happy when that's not talked about as much, and his team winning football games will be the story of Texas football instead of the core values.
And the players who remain been very supportive. They appreciate what the coach is doing. They don't appreciate that. Swoop sacked.
Big Geno Gresham coming off the corner does a good job of sliding, getting underneath Hutchins. First time Swoops made a poor decision with the football. He did have a throwing lane. He could have turned it into a running lane and got the possible first down. His eyes dropped and faded to the right.
Obo Okoronkwo was also in there. He's a backup. Plays in their NASCAR Speed Rush packages. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
Get Doppler in your pocket. Download the app.
Back at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, right in the center of the Texas State Fair, which is ongoing. Our crew enjoyed some very healthy food options here yesterday.
I got to put them on a workout. It's ridiculous.
William Russ on the punt for Texas. Oklahoma leads 7-3 as we go to the second quarter in the Red River Showdown. And here's the 7th penalty of the game for Texas. Adrian Colbert just knocked down Sterling Shepard, who was waiting for the punt to come down.
That's the second mistake that he's made on special teams, and he's hearing about it from Coach Strong. Remember, he was the one that fell down on the kickoff return for a touchdown.
Kick catching interference. Number 26, kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Oklahoma.
Have discipline, have awareness, understand your surroundings.
I don't think I've seen a head coach run 50 yards that fast to come down and discipline a player. He is absolutely livid, and he has every right to be. Charlie Strong just cannot stand the type of mistakes his team is making in the first half of this game.
Well, they are dominating the game in every way except the penalties. Oklahoma had 1 yard of offense before that completion. Trevor Knight, to last year's starting quarterback in this game, now the tight end Blake Bell.
Good job of Trevor Knight. Now watch this. This is something that Stoops does not do. Steps into the pocket, finds the big target, Bell, who shows some athletic ability, switching those hips, snagging the ball with his hands.
Samaje Perine taken down by Jordan Hicks. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. As we said at the end of the quarter, the total yardage was 117-1 in favor of Texas. With Oklahoma adding yards now after the penalty on the punt. Just one penalty against the Sooners, 7 against Texas. One of them negated a 73-yard run by the quarterback Tyrone Swoops, that at the very least had them in field goal range. Oklahoma's touchdown on a kickoff return. Perine planted. Jason Hall, backup safety, freshman from just down the road in Grand Prairie, Texas.
I'm not going to say anything because I just want you to admire the tackle. It's beautiful. I'm done.
That's a big, strong man. He had a lift and plant. 3rd down and 6. Out of the pistol. Knight has his pass batted down, and it is a forward pass, incomplete. Malcolm Brown having a monster first half for the Horns.
Well, watch Malcolm Brown work the edge of the pass protector right here. Number 90, he's going to work his edge, not staying square with the offensive lineman, getting on that edge, and he wins that battle and is able to get the right hand to swat it down. I love it when pass rushers recognize the ability to work the one half of a man, in which Malcolm Brown did.
Michael Honeycutt, one of the best kickers in the country, trying a 44-yard field goal. Didn't look pretty, but it is right down the middle. That takes him over 400 career points now. The all-time leading scorer at Oklahoma with 402 after that three-pointer. He's the nation's active scoring leader. It's 10-3. Back at the Texas State Fairgrounds, Oklahoma leads 10-3. Time for today's Aflac trivia question, and here to ask it is a special guest.
Howdy, Sean. Which head coach has the best win percentage in the Red River Showdown? Minimum 10 games.
We thank Big Tex, a fixture literally here at the fairgrounds. Nick Hodgson, short kickoff. Roderick Bernard brought it back to the 21. Here's Robert Flores back in our studio.
It's the Taco Bell studio update, Sean, from the Big Ten. With Todd Gurley's suspension, is Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon the Heisman frontrunner? He's got 2 touchdowns right now in their game against the Illini. It's on ESPN2. It's tied at 14. Meantime, Georgia leading Missouri 12-0 on the road.
And without Todd Gurley, who would be your Heisman Trophy frontrunner right now?
Oh, man, I'm going to go with Dak Prescott down in Mississippi State, the way he's rolling.
I'm with you. Tyrone Swoops comes out throwing, and An excellent catch by Jackson Shipley along the near sideline, just shy of the first down. He had Ahmad Thomas in very close coverage.
Watch Zach Sanchez coming up on the corner blitz in recognition again by Swoops to understand the weakness is to throw to the blitz side because the safety's trying to come all the way from the top, and he can give Jackson Shipley an assist and a great play for making him look good on a poorly thrown ball. But at least he's recognizing where the blitz and pressure is coming from.
6 catches already for Shipley. 2nd down and a yard. Malcolm Brown again fighting forward. Reminiscent of that play early in the game when he was stripped. The ball came out. Oklahoma returned it for an apparent touchdown, but on a replay review, Brown was ruled down before he lost the ball. It's a 1st down at the 33. Jonathan Gray looking for help. Managed to break free from Eric Stryker, and then Charles Tapper made the tackle. Gain of a yard.
That's where their defense is so strong. I mean, they're strong up the middle, especially when Jordan Phillips makes that decision that nobody's going to block me. Then you have the speed of the linebackers, whether it's Stryker, whether it's Alexander or Evans. All of them can run.
Tom Alexander, number 1 there in the middle of your picture. Made his first career start as a freshman in this game last year and had 19 tackles. Here he comes after Swoops, and it's an interception by Zach Sanchez. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Zach Sanchez, number 15, the cornerback. We saw him against Tulsa earlier. His shoulder injury had not played the same as he was early in the season. You see there, great job reading the route of the wide receiver. This guy's a ball hawk, playmaker. It's his 5th interception this season, all because of his eye recognition on that route.
Well, man coverage, and the receiver did not push him off the ball, and Zach Sanchez never got out of his back pedal. That's why he was able to make such a strong break on the football. You never get out of your back pedal, it's easy pickings.
7th interception in the last 9 games. He leads the Big 12 this year with 5. Happy 21st birthday, Zach Sanchez.
ESPN College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Cadillac and Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Back at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, where Oklahoma leads 17-3. Mistake-prone Texas offense today. Tyrone Swoops just threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown by Zach Sanchez. They've had 6 penalties on offense, including a huge holding call against John Harris that wiped out a Swoops 73-yard run. So Nick Hodgson kicks off for Oklahoma. They don't have an offensive touchdown. Scored on special teams and on defense. Roderick Bernard took a knee. Time to answer the Aflac trivia question. Big Tex asked you which head coach has the best winning percentage in this Red River Showdown. A minimum of 10 games coached. Big Tex, who is it?
Sean, that would be former head coach Dana X. Bible of Texas, with a 750 win percentage.
He went 7-2-1 in this rivalry. Coach Bible, 1937 and 1946. Bob Stoops, as you see, is 9-6. He has a chance to make history today. Malcolm Brown, the ball carrier for a 2-yard gain. Bob Stoops 9-6 against Texas. Some big wins, as we mentioned earlier. Bud Wilkinson and Barry Switzer also have 9 wins against Texas. That is the most among Oklahoma coaches in this rivalry. So Bob Stoops would be the first Oklahoma coach to beat Texas 10 times if they go on to victory today. Swoops the pitch to Malcolm Brown. Got enough of a block from Jackson Shipley to pick up the first down before Quentin Hayes made the stop at the 37-yard line.
Well, this time they block it again. They had trouble in Oklahoma defending this against TCU. It's just what we call a speed option, and they're asking Stryker to play both quarterback and pitch. Don't ask players to do what they can't do. That's impossible for any player to do both.
11-yard gain. And the play clock running down to 6. Some confusion. You saw it almost as soon as they broke the huddle. Jackson Shipley had his arms outstretched as if he did not understand what was going on. Tonight over on ESPN, don't miss an SEC doubleheader starting at 6 with Alabama and Arkansas, and then at 9 Bo Wallace and number 3 Ole Miss. Just down the road, College Station to take on 14th ranked Texas A&M. Both games are available live on Watch ESPN. Tyrone Swoops on the run. Nice throw and catch by Jackson Shipley into Oklahoma territory at the 47-yard line, a gain of 15.
Well, this is what they're doing, Sean. They're eliminating Swoops from reading the field by rolling him out and giving him 2 options to read. He's reading high to low. The high route was covered. Shipley running the mid route was open, and a good throw on the run by Swoops. Eliminate the thought process for him and just let him throw. Give him easy reads to make, and he'll complete passes.
Oklahoma coaches are saying they think Swoops might throw the ball better on the move outside the pocket. Another strong run by Malcolm Brown. Aaron Franklin managed to take him down. First down, Texas.
One thing about Malcolm Brown is he's running with his hair on fire. He's running with passion and purpose.
And they are running the ball better than they have for most of the season. We've mentioned earlier that started last week against Baylor. Brown is 52 yards rushing on 10 carries. Swoops needs to get rid of it. And with Hayes around his legs, threw it. He was outside the tackle box and got it beyond the line of scrimmage. Good work by the quarterback to unload.
Excellent work, and to get away from number 19 there, Eric Stryker coming off the edge. And what Stryker brings on his pass rush is speed off the edge. And watch Swoops go ahead and avoid him right here and make a good decision. Just beat him with a quick inside move and have the strength to get away not only from Stryker, but the strength to throw the ball with Hayes hanging on his legs. That's a good decision. That's growing up.
Second and 10. They have to waste another timeout with the play clock running out. It looked like Charlie Strong might have been telling his coaches, let's get these plays in a little bit more quickly. Well, one of the big tasks for the Texas offense, Todd, to deal with Jordan Phillips.
And when they've double teamed him, you know, so far Texas has done a pretty good job in terms of being able to run the football. But the issue is when they don't double team him, he's able to get in the backfield. Bigger picture, when you've got a guy like Stryker coming off the edge on passing downs, and then you've got a massive nose tackle like Phillips on running downs, you can't double team both of them because then you have no receivers. You're stuck with max 3 receivers to go out in the passing game. So this is a very difficult defense to game plan against, especially when your offensive line does not match up. And I think the biggest key moving forward for Texas, get the ball out of Swoops' hand quickly. And when you're going to ask him to stand in the pocket, you've got to double team Stryker because he's just killing these offensive tackles off the edge.
And just athleticism by Stryker. One way to get the double team off Jordan Phillips is the linebacker attacked the line of scrimmage.
Armani Foreman, the freshman, shoved out of bounds by Gino Grissom. marked out at the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 7. 9 minutes to go in the half. Texas has 10 first downs. Oklahoma has 1. And yet the Sooners lead 17-3. It looked like movement on the offensive line. There was. Once again, it was the right end of the offensive line. Darius James.
False start. Number 52, offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And perhaps what Todd was talking about, when you know you're scuffling with a guy like Stryker, you move fast and early.
And the problem, you're right, Sean, because you want to get off and not get beaten off the edge on speed. And his eyes are inside, so he has to take his eyes because of the noise off of his target, because he's looking at the ball when it's going to be snapped.
Probably not in field goal range. Stryker got slowed down by the back. Brown, and that gave them time. Swoops to Harris for a touchdown. .75-yard drive, 38 of them on the touchdown pass to John Harris, a senior who was not much of a factor in this program prior to this year. Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday he's been the most pleasant surprise this season on offense. Nick Rose, the extra point. Swoops to Harris, and despite all of their mistakes, Texas within 1 score. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay. The Red River Showdown from the Cotton Bowl. Texas a touchdown to get within 7. Nick Rose will kick off for the Longhorns. Alex Ross, who's returned to kick off for a touchdown today. Starts from just inside the end zone. And he couldn't stay in bounds. Let's go back to the touchdown by Texas.
Mike Stoops right here is trying to get the timeout called. In college football, the head coach is the only one to call the timeout. Now, watch Malcolm Brown just get in the way of Stryker coming off the edge. We just talked about that. Just enough time that Ahmad Thomas, number 13, right there in your picture, jumps to the outside. They have 3-on-1 instead of the deep middle part covered. And you see the eyes.
And what really impressed me from being in the end zone sitting here, I was looking at his eyes as he was trying to look down the field. That was one of the rare times I've seen Swoops throw when his receiver hadn't broken open. Great anticipation.
Well, the Stoops brothers knew that that play might be difficult for them, but they couldn't get the timeout. Nobody on their field saw them. Trevor Knight, just the 11th play from scrimmage for Oklahoma, contrasted to Texas's 34 offensive plays, and there's no gain on that play.
You know, I see a fired up defense, and I can tell why. When I see a one technique, which is a nose guard, and an inside defensive tackle making plays on the sidelines. Oklahoma has yet to fatigue those guys up front, and they do have a problem with the depth of their inside defensive linemen.
Knight faked the handoff, and he got upended by Quandre Diggs.
And Chris, I think you make a great point. One of the big points of emphasis for Oklahoma coming in this game was try to run a lot of plays. They love to go tempo, try to wear down this defensive front. Remember, Tank Jackson, the nose tackle, has been out because of injury. They don't have depth, but only running the 11 plays coming into this series, Oklahoma is not accomplishing that goal.
They're playing at a different level of energy than Oklahoma right now, the Longhorn defense.
3rd down and 11. 4-man rush. Still flushes Knight from the pocket. Shepard the catch, short of the 1st down. Jordan Hicks Got him onto the grass, about 1.5 yards short of the first down, and they'll punt. Oklahoma will.
Pressure with 4, Sean. That allows you to drop 7 in the coverage, obviously, but the more impressive thing is Jordan Hicks staying with Shepard, staying in his area, and is able to make an open field one-on-one tackle. Disciplined defense.
Jed Barnett punts, short, fair catch. Jackson Shipley at the 28-yard line. Great day of football on ABC, and a big day right here in the state of Texas. 3:30 Eastern time on ABC. A battle of 2 unbeatens. TCU moved from 25-9 after they beat Oklahoma last week. They'll play Baylor down in Waco. Some of you will see Michigan State and Purdue. Bryce Petty had just 111 yards passing, Chris, last week against this Texas defense, his lowest by far of his career as a starter.
A little surprised at that 59.3 completion percentage for Bryce Petty.
It's Baylor's lowest passing total since 2008 against anybody. Swoops, collared down. Chukwu Ndulue made the tackle. Gain of 2 for Tyrone Swoops. You heard the referee explain no horse collar. He's within the tackle box. And Texas trying to pick up the pace. Diamond formation, a couple of tight ends adjacent to the quarterback. Jonathan Gray, the running back. And he got belted by Aaron Franklin as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
He misread his hold. He had a hold to the right. He opted to cut left. Right into the arms of Franklin. There was some running room. Sometimes running backs just got to trust that side. You get it on. Everybody always looks to cut it back a little too quick. And there was room to the right. Just stay patient with it. They always talk about running backs being patient. Be patient.
Timeout, Oklahoma. With 5:18 remaining in the first half, and the Sooners leading 17-10. Well, the reason for the timeout called by Oklahoma, they had only 10 men on the field on defense. Now they have the full complement of 11 for the 3rd down and 7 for Texas. Tyrone Swoops has some running room, has a first down. I mentioned earlier, he's not a rocket, but he runs well enough to be effective, and he got them to the 39 and a first down.
Well, a better decision right here, taking his throwing lane, turning it into a running lane, and knowing he only needs 7 yards. Good decision. We're seeing this young man kind of grow up and making better decisions and not panicking after the interception for a touchdown by Sanchez.
He's been to this game before, growing up about an hour north of here in White Wright, Texas, a town of just about 1,600 people. He has not played in this game before, nor has Trevor Knight. Almost a catastrophe, and now a big gainer for Texas as Gray crosses midfield with a 12-yard gain. Ahmad Thomas made the play for Oklahoma.
A self-inflicted wound avoided. What Texas needed to have good things happen, to get a break. And the offensive line did an excellent job because they have to sustain blocks that much longer because how long the play develops. Look at him working, especially big number 66, Cedric Flowers.
"13 first downs to 1. Swoops running out of time. Threw it over the head of Shipley. Jordan Evans put the pressure and put a pop on Tyrone Swoops. Texas, you and Todd were mentioning, huge problems in the second half this season. They entered today having given up only 16 points in the first half all year combined in 5 games. But they've given up 80 points in the second half. In large part, it would seem, because the offense has struggled, the defense is on the field too long. They wear down without depth. But that defense hasn't had to be on the field very much today. Marcus Johnson. A 2-yard gain. Julian Wilson to tackle him. We're under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator for the Longhorns, doing a good job of calling it, mixing it up on first and second down. Wouldn't be surprised if they take another shot here, not on this particular down, but as you progress into another new series to try to fool Oklahoma, because they're caught in that line of scrimmage on the early downs.
3rd down and 8. Stoops got it off. Marcus Johnson weaves his way down to the 29, upended by Ahmad Thomas. 18 yards and a first down.
Well, when I see a linebacker, number 26, Jordan Evans, throw his hands up in the air. There he is in the middle of the screen. Throw his hands up in the air like, who's got him? That's a mental mistake, and they were hurt last week, Todd, by mental mistakes against TCU in the back end.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with Stoops, Chris. His eyes usually drop when pressure starts to come. He's looking to run like most young quarterbacks. Not there. Sees the field. Big first down.
3 minutes to go in the half. Malcolm Brown, a good bounce outside. He ran away from Geno Grissom and rumbles down to the 5-yard line where Ahmad Thomas made the tackle.
This is the patience right here. There's the cutback. Sets it inside. John Harris, number 9, the wide receiver, working his rear end off for his teammate, for his buddy, getting the block on Julian Wilson. They got him on the ropes. You got to respond. That's effort all the way around by that whole front.
Well, they marked the ball back at the 7. They got inside the 6. Nowhere to hand it. And a busted play results in a 1-yard loss. Quentin Hayes, Geno Grissom made the tackle.
It's almost like they have a good play, then some kind of mistake, then a good play. They just keep overcoming. And remember, that was one of the keys to victory, being able to handle adversity.
On 2nd and goal, they fake the forward pitch to Shipley. Swoops got them down to the 2. Third down and goal. Mike Stoops told us this week he's chagrined by their problems on 3rd down. TCU was 56% last week on 3rd down, a big factor in the Sooners' loss. And at the goal line, almost another disaster for Texas. Last week, a half minute to go in the first half, Swoops fumbled at the 1-yard line going in when it looked like they were going to tie the game. New snapper Taylor Doyle in there today. First time he's ever played center for the Longhorns. And that snap was a little too high and hot.
Yeah, he threw the fastball back there, and a lot of times you get anxious and you carry and hold on to the ball too long, which causes a high snap.
Dominic Espinoza was their starting center, fractured an ankle in the opener against North Texas. That was the biggest loss this team has suffered, according to Coach Charlie Strong. And they settled for a Nick Rose 20-yard field goal. Taylor Doyle starting for the first time in his career at center today. Coming up, stay tuned for the Cooper Tires halftime report. John Saunders, Mac Brown, Danny Cannell. Early scores and highlights. Start of a big day, an important day in college football. They're all important now with an eye toward the 4-team college football playoff at the end of the year. Oklahoma leads by 4. They still have 1 first down. On an overcast and cool day, 30 degrees cooler than yesterday here in the Metroplex. Good kickoff by Nick Rose. Both Oklahoma touchdowns have come from units other than the offense. Alex Ross, a 91-yard kickoff return after Texas had kicked the field goal to take a 3-0 lead. And then Zach Sanchez, who's been criticized lately by some Sooner fans for his up and down play. He said he spent a lot of time this week working on getting back to paying attention to his technique and fundamentals. Just 3 points on the field goal by the offense, set up by the offense. See how they play it with 2 timeouts, poor field position. Looks like they're going to regroup. Samaje Perine.
Well, you talk about double teaming Jordan Phillips. Well, Oklahoma needs to start double teaming Malcolm Brown on runs because he's handling his business at the line of scrimmage. You cannot move him, and he's using his powerful hands to throw off the guard and make tackles at the line of scrimmage or close by. Number 90, Malcolm, is playing.
It's interesting, most of that crowd noise you hear is coming from the Texas fans who understand that their team outplayed Oklahoma for the vast majority of that half with some huge mistakes. The difference in the game. Here's Todd with Coach Strong.
Coach, you dominate both sides of the ball really in the first half. A lot of mistakes. What do you say to your team at halftime?
Well, it's the main things happening to us is the mistakes. We had, 6 procedure penalties. You had a hold on a long run. Then we give up an interception, touchdown, and a kickoff return. We're killing ourselves. If we can just correct the mistakes we're making and then just continue to dominate the second half, then we should be able to turn this game.
You've got a young quarterback in Tyrone Swoops who's really played well, seems to be coming of age. What's the game plan for him in the offense in the second half?
We'll just continue to move the ball and be consistent. We need first downs and just keep drives moving.
Thanks, Coach.
All righty, Tom.
Charlie's team outgained Oklahoma 278 to 29 in the first half, but it's Zach Sanchez and the Sooners who head to the locker room with a 17-13 lead. Stay tuned now for the Cooper Tires halftime report right after these messages. Welcome you back to the Red River Showdown from Dallas. Texas 278 total yards of offense to 29. That's the fewest amount of yards in the first half for Oklahoma, at least in the last 10 years. That's as far back as our research people have made it right now. It could be even longer than that. Here's another stat for you. Teams that have outgained all over college football this year their opponents by 200 yards or more in the first half this season are 57-0. But Texas is the 58th team. They're the only one that's been behind at the half. Almost remarkable that they are.
And if they just would have avoided the self-inflicted wounds, they'd be in the lead right now. Now they have to see if they will avoid their second half collapse.
Touchback for Nick Rose. Let's check in down on the field with Todd McShay.
Well, guys, one thing that's been so impressive about what Texas has done on the defensive side, getting pressure when they rush their front four. So important that you get that front four pressure, because when you do with 4, that means you can drop 7. My math is very good. Here you're going to see cover 2, 5 under. That means 2 guys are deep in zone, 5 defenders under. They're taking away so much of the underneath. Trevor Knight has nowhere to go with the ball. The big question, as you guys alluded to, can Texas' front 4 continue to get that pressure for 4 quarters without a lot of depth in that unit?
They had 1 first down in the half. 1 drive set up the score was a field goal after they had a short field on a penalty on a punt return. Here's Sterling Shepard making his presence known. Walloped out of bounds along the near sideline at the 44-yard line by Jason Hall. 31 yards. More than their entire total offense in the first half.
Well, you've been kind of waiting for Sterling Shepard to make an appearance, and a good call to get him involved early.
Now they get up very quickly. Trevor Knight throws a wobbler. It's almost intercepted by Hall. It was intended for Deron Neal.
Well, this is again where a good play could have been a great play. Jason Hall has a chance to make the great play after the poorly thrown ball from Trevor Knight. That's something to keep in your memory banks right now, because another costly error maybe for Texas. You have to keep an eye on that. These are opportunities But they can't let go. They're not good enough to overcome lost opportunities.
Shepard slips down. They went into the bag of tricks. And Jordan Hicks was there ready to stop him. And on this soft field after the overnight morning rains, Shepard fell down as he tried to jam on the brakes, a loss of 11.
Jordan Hicks, and this takes so long to develop that a defender can actually run the wrong way like Jordan Hicks, but he's still in position to make the play with the assist from the 45-yard line.
All of a sudden, 3rd down and 21. Knights 4 out of 7 passing. They go to a draw to Perine. He crossed midfield, but is down at the Texas 47, well short of the first down by about 13 yards. Quandre Diggs made the tackle. So a little razzle-dazzle and a little spark for that Oklahoma offense, but then the loss of 11 brought that drive to a screeching halt.
Huge confidence builder by Texas. A team that lacks confidence, that needs something good to happen. They keep doing it.
Jed Barnett to punt for the 4th time. Jackson Shipley back for it, telling his teammates to get away from a short punt that goes out of bounds at the 20. Todd, how about Tyrone Swoop's play as the quarterback for Texas in the first half?
Well, one of the things that Chris and I saw studying his tape is the fact that his eyes would drop when pressure would start to come. That's a sign of a young quarterback. You lose sight of down the field. Watch him here. By the way, great job by our camera crew getting that close up there. He's got his eyes up. That allows him to see his open receiver. Once again, here you're going to see going through his progression reads, close in on that helmet. He's seeing the entire field. It's completely different than the tape we saw. And I think it's been the biggest difference. I talked to Coach Stoops at halftime. He said busts on 3rd down were the biggest issue. That's a big reason why a young quarterback coming of age.
Malcolm Brown managed to slither through the hole, twist forward out to the 23-yard line, a gain of 4. They marked the punt out of bounds at the 19. Zach Sanchez made the tackle.
Bust on 3rd downs, what killed Oklahoma last week against TCU. And just to go back to Swoops on that long touchdown pass, that was the first time that I watched him use his eyes to move defenders in the secondary, then come back to his target late with his head, trusting his guy would be there and trusting his arm to make the throw.
14 for 21 passing in the first half. Malcolm Brown denied right along the line of scrimmage. Jordan Evans, Chuka Ndulaway, Devontae Bond all in on the stop. Third down and 6. Texas was 5 out of 10 on 3rd downs in the first half. Under the Stoops brothers entering this year since 2000, Oklahoma's 3rd down defense 31%, neck and neck with Virginia Tech for the best in the country over that decade and a half. Low throw at the feet of Marcus Johnson, and it'll be a quick 3 and out for Tyrone Swoops in the Texas offense.
People are going to look at Swoops and say that's your fault. No, it's Marcus Johnson's fault because it was a zone coverage. Marcus Johnson has to sit that route down. Instead, he tried to carry it all the way across the field. Swoops threw the ball where he was supposed to be.
So William Russ will punt Texas for the 4th time. That's a bomb. Shepard backpedaling and then falls down. Made a nice hands catch, but couldn't keep his balance. And they'll mark it at the 16-yard line. A 61-yard punt, one shy of the longest of the year for William Russ. The DirecTV Mobile Studios bus has been here in Dallas for the past few days, but it's all gassed up now, about to head down to Waco and then to College Station. The games later today. You'll also be taking the National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper along for the ride. That'll be awarded after the National Championship game just down the road in Arlington, Texas on January 12th. On 1st down for Oklahoma, Alex Ross got 4. Hassan Ridgeway made the tackle for Texas.
I was on that bus today with Stormy McShay being his personal valet, helping him get to all his personal appearances.
He's in high demand. quick tempo. Ross again. Banged down by Jason Hall, who's had an active start to this second half.
They can't run it because they don't have enough people to block. Texas is selling out on the run. You have to come with some type of play action, and you got to attack the middle of the field deep to loosen them up.
3rd and 5 for Trevor Knight. Grew up here in Texas and San Antonio, Longhorn fan. Inherited that from his dad. Came to some of these games in the Red River Showdown as a kid. 0 for 5 on 3rd down. The Sooners trying to end that, and they don't. KJ Young couldn't catch it as he extended his hands. Quandre Diggs had the coverage.
I just think he has his mind made up. Now, this is a well-thrown ball. He's getting it to the sticks, and that's the catch that KJ has to bring in. And they've been looking for a receiver to step up besides Shepard. Now, Neal has a little bit, but they need somebody else to go to because they'll take Shepard out of the game by putting a safety over the top.
Jed Barnett punts. Room for Jackson Shipley. Lots of running room along the near side. And his return is to the Oklahoma 49. Again, the effect of the wet field as he slipped. 42-yard punt, 14-yard return, 3:30 right after us. Battle of the unbeatens here in Texas. TCU and Baylor. Some bad blood carrying over from last year's game between those two teams, by the way. They're both in the top 9 of the country. Some of you will see Michigan State and Purdue. That's 3:30 Eastern time on ABC. Also on Watch ESPN. You know, Bevo will be tuned in. Very rare that this matchup isn't the featured game in the state of Texas. But today it might be number 3 with Ole Miss and Texas A&M tonight down in College Station. Swoops, drop ball. Very surprising from the reliable Jackson Shipley.
Good call, though, coming with that Y formation or diamond formation. And I love the fact that they're asking him to throw the ball at the top of his drop. As soon as that back foot hits, deliver it to the open area, recognizing the soft corner. He's coming along. I mean, this is the best I've seen him look all year on all the film we watched.
He swoops from a small high school. They thought he was going to be a work in progress this year. Thrown into the action with Ash having to quit football, and now Stryker sacks him back at the 46-yard line of Oklahoma. Texas, rather, pardon me.
He has to account for Stryker coming. Stryker's going to come free, number 19, off the corner here. And let's see what happens with Malcolm Brown. See, Malcolm Brown releases, so that's on the quarterback to pick up that blitzer himself and dump the ball to Malcolm Brown right now. And his eyes dropped. Lost his progression.
Stryker, in the words of Mike Stoops, the defensive coordinator, a constant nuisance to the offense. And that has certainly been true again today. Hayes came on a safety blitz. Marcus Johnson, a terrific catch. Lunging forward at the Oklahoma 46. They're short of the first down by 7 yards, and the punting unit will come on.
That's a better job of recognizing blitz and getting rid of the ball when that back foot as a quarterback plants. And Marcus Johnson atoning for his last mistake in the last series of not stopping his route.
William Russ is on the punt. Sterling Shepard back for it. The teams exchanging 3 and outs. High and end over end. And a fair catch by Shepard at the 15-yard line. 31 yards on the boot by William Russ. Stryker coming in hot after the quarterback.
ESPN College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Honda, official music sponsor of ESPN College Football. And Progressive, comparing rates to help you save. Now that's progressive.
Some of the scenes in this great venue, the State Fair of Texas. Fair Park in Dallas and the Cotton Bowl, hosting Texas and Oklahoma every year since 1929. Go back to that astounding number. Texas had the edge by 249 yards in the first half, but trailed at the half. Teams with a 200-plus yardage advantage at the half this year, 57-0, but Texas is the 58th team to have that advantage. They're the only team that has trailed at the half with a 200-yard-plus edge in total yardage. Jordan Hicks took down Samaje Perine, and both offenses struggling here in the third quarter.
You know, one thing I didn't think would happen was this total dominance by the front seven of Texas defense against Oklahoma's offensive line, who's been pretty stout all year long. They're getting their runs handed to them by the Longhorns.
Well, like the Texas offensive line, the Oklahoma line is very experienced. A combined 129 career starts among those starters. Knight found some time and found a receiver. Blake Bell, first down, out to the 31-yard line.
It's a good job of movement in the pocket, presence and awareness. And when Trevor gets in trouble, his feet are usually the problem. Right here, he gets his feet running toward the target, which puts his shoulders and arm on line. Blake Bell showing good hands again with his second catch of the day.
Each for 15 yards. He was the starting quarterback last year here in their loss to Texas. Went 12 for 26 passing and threw a couple of interceptions. In 2012, he ran for 4 touchdowns out of their Belldozer. Steve Edmond planted Samaje Perine after a gain of about a yard.
This is the first game where I watched Perine, Sean, where he's not falling forward. I mean, he's getting stuck and he's going down. One, he fell backwards, and right there, Edmond knocked him to the side.
It's tough to go forward when you get hit that hard.
Yes.
He got hit like it was Chris Spielman hitting him. 18 yards rushing for Perine. He averages 101. Knocks off the hands of Sterling Shepard with Duke Thomas in coverage, and Oklahoma faces third down and 9.
Boy, if this was in stride, Todd.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just noticing this is not the tempo offense that Oklahoma wants to be and has been in previous years. You think with this Texas defense that doesn't have a lot of depth that they'd be working to get to the line and really running plays fast. It has not happened today.
They haven't converted on third down yet. 0 for 6 is OU. Knight changing the call. Play clock at 3. Just a 4-man rush. Deep down the sideline and over the head of Deron Neal, who was moving into some open space. Michael Thompson had the coverage for Texas.
A missed opportunity because Michael slipped and Deron Neal had space, as you mentioned, and just missed throw again. 2 poor throws, even the one to Shepard the previous down. If he hit him in stride, that's a first down.
Midway through the third quarter, another punt for Jed Barnett. Jackson Shipley, late decision, make fair catch at the 20. So after a wild first half, the defenses are taking control here in Dallas. Yum, yum. Well, as always, when these two schools get together, the stars are out. Longhorn legends Vince Young and Ricky Williams. Toby Keith, country music legend on the Oklahoma sideline. Vince and Ricky now in our business, working for the Longhorn Network.
I like it. Good for them. Great players.
Swoops throws quickly. Jackson Shipley, good hands catch. Zach Sanchez knocked him out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Gain of 9, second down and 1. These two teams have combined for 5 possessions and 5 punts here in the third quarter. Texas has had 2 3-and-outs in this quarter, so Tyrone Swoops would like to help them pick up their first down, keep the defense off the field. And Malcolm Brown had to do most of that on his own to get the first down. Wrestled down by Charles Tapper.
It's been inspiring the way he's run the football. I mean, when you have a running back and you're an offensive lineman, you see that guy, Sean, fighting and clawing for everything he can get. That motivates you to pick up your game and to stay on your block longer.
Well, they have the running backs to be a good rushing team. It's the offensive line that is still a work in progress, but take away all of those false start penalties, they've handled themselves pretty well today. Swoops, throws over the head of Jeff Swain.
Stryker forced maybe the up throw, and if Swoops feels that pressure, because he has to understand that his guy is not going to hold up all day on the edge. Hutchins isn't going to keep Stryker out. Just step up into that pocket a little bit more to give yourself a little more of a throwing angle, or the opportunity to tuck it and run, because it's coming off the edge now.
Out of the pistol, Malcolm Brown, nice cut. Flag thrown in the interior of the offensive line. Eric Stryker made yet another tackle. Gain of 4, but there is a flag thrown.
We're going to get Darius James, number 52.
Personal foul. Shot block, number 52, offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous block. Replay, second down.
You know, this is a great rule for college football because it protects guys. If you're engaged high, you can't get hit low. And you see right there, that's brutal. You cannot do that, and you can't have a big enough penalty for that because you can career guys. Taylor Doyle was the other culprit.
Doyle's the new center. Dominic Espinosa had started 40 straight games at center for Texas before he was injured earlier in the year. Good throw on target right into the number 7 of Marcus Johnson. They get back out to the 32-yard line. They'll need 9 more for a first down.
Here's the plan for Stryker. If you can't get him with 1, get him with 2. Take a look. Swain right here is going to chip him. Then Malcolm Brown will trip him, which allows the throwing lane for Swoop, who throws the dart and throws to an open area for number 7, Marcus Johnson.
Third and 9. The Sooners bring a blitz. Swoops off his back foot, lofts it up for grabs, and Shipley was stumbling as he tried to run under it. It's Stephen Parker in coverage, the freshman from Tulsa.
Good aggressive call by Mike Stoops. Don't be passive. 3rd and 9. Blitz them, make them make a play and a decision. It worked out well, forcing the overthrow.
Sterling Shepard back for the punt from William Russ. Wonderful feature on game day by Tom Rinaldi this morning about Sterling Shepard, his family, their long connection to the Oklahoma football program. He brought the punt back to the 37-yard line. Todd?
Oh, you guys were talking about Stryker and everything that he's been able to do in terms of the pressure he brings off the edge and the attention he gets. He reminds me a lot of Von Miller at Texas A&M. Now, before everyone jumps on my back, Von Miller was really an undersized guy when he was playing at Texas A&M. As a sophomore, he was 213 pounds. Now, Von Miller is a little bit taller, 6'3" versus 6 foot, but I think you're going to continue to see Stryker get bigger. And you look at the production, too, very similar as young players. Eric Stryker's the type of guy that you have to account for in the rush, but also he's so athletic, he can drop off in coverage. Perfect fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Junior from Sefter, Florida, Stryker. Knight throws, caught along the far sideline by Aaron Ripkowski. And he went out at the 43.
I look at Stryker more as an inside will linebacker or a strong safety. I don't think he'll ever play outside linebacker in the NFL. That's my opinion.
Swing pass to Duron Neal, turns the corner. Inside the Texas 40. And down at the 35-yard line. Taken down by Jason Hall.
Yeah, Duke Thomas gets nosy. Duke Thomas jumps inside at the corner. His job as a corner is to force the ball back inside to pursue. When he jumped inside, that up in the running lane.
22-yard gain. They're trying to find a rhythm now. Sterling Shepard. Dropped by Quandre Diggs at the 27-yard line, and the Sooners clearly trying to pick up the pace.
It's a good call by them to wear out that Texas defensive line.
That play just got them over 100 yards of offense for the game. Ross bottled up at the line, bounced ahead, and appeared to pick up the first down. Got away from Hassan Ridgeway. Nashawn Hughes made the tackle for the Horns. First down, Oklahoma. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Neither team has scored in the second half. Oklahoma at the very least in field goal range. Lots of time for Knight. Shepard's wide open. Touchdown. After a quiet first half, Shepard emerging. 24-yard touchdown reception for the junior from Oklahoma City, and it's a 2-score lead for the Sooners. Picked up the pace, went 63 yards in just over a minute. Michael Honeycutt for the extra point. Another Oklahoma player from the Dallas area. He's from suburban Richardson. First offensive touchdown of the day for OU.
Well, it's the wheel route. We saw Texas do this in the first half with Jackson Shipley. Anytime as a defender you have somebody run through the flat and go deep, you don't know the safety's going to be there, so it's your responsibility, number 6, Quandre Diggs, to carry that wheel route. Lost his footing.
What about this? I mean, that's very close to a personal foul, is it not?
It should have been called. Yeah, that's a late hit. I don't think the officials even saw it, to be honest with you, because it was so late. But that was a good read right there by Trevor Knight. Good design and a mental error by Quandre Diggs, because anytime there's somebody in the flat, you have to carry him deep because you have no idea if the safety is vacated or not.
If you missed the feature this morning on game day about Sterling Shepard, his dad, the late Garrett Shepard, was a walk-on at Oklahoma. Many thought he was too small, about 5'9", walked on at Oklahoma, wound up being a fine receiver, a team captain, part of the national championship team, played in the NFL. Then came back to Oklahoma as a graduate assistant when Bob Stoops got the job. He inherited Derek Shepard as a GA. They were together about 6 months, and Derek Shepard got a job at Wyoming. Left his 6-year-old son Sterling and the rest of the family, including wife Sherry, in Oklahoma City until they got settled in Wyoming, and tragically died of a heart attack very shortly after he arrived in Laramie. Nick Hodgson's kickoff returned by Roderick Bernard. Sterling Shepard was 6 years old. Bob Stoops kept him very close to the program throughout the years, constantly at practice, at the games, wearing his dad's number 3. And who knew when he was 6 that he turned out to be a great high school star. Very emotional for both of them that day when Bob Stoops offered him a scholarship to come to Oklahoma, following his dad's footsteps. Bob Stoops spoke at Derek Shepard's funeral. Wonderful speech, and he had a typed copy of it in his desk for all of those years. And when Sterling elected to come to Oklahoma, Bob gave Sterling the copy of the speech he had kept in his drawer for all those years. Wonderful story, beautifully told as always this morning by Tom Rinaldi. Jonathan Gray, the ball carrier. Devontae Bond made the tackle. Been a big couple of weeks for the Sooners on game day as well. I mean, last week, Katy Perry, guess predictor, says she's picking the Sooners because she thinks Trevor Knight's a good-looking guy, and told Trevor to give her a call, or told Trevor did not call it. I'm sure his girlfriend appreciates that. Jonathan Gray, the ball carrier. We send you back. Let's call in Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, Wells Fargo getting it done. Certainly that's the case for Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon. 4 touchdowns, 169 yards, as Wisconsin has scored 24 unanswered points on the Illini and lead 31-14 going into the fourth quarter right now on ESPN2.
All right, thank you very much. Melvin Gordon trying to enhance his candidacy for the Heisman. Low throw by Swoops on 3rd down and 2. They did not convert. He threw a sinker to John Harris.
It's the first time that Swoops does not get his feet set. He's going to throw off his back foot. His left foot is going to open. His hips are going to open too wide, which causes the low throw. When you see the feet parallel, then you're not in position to make a good throw. That time his left foot was parallel with his right foot. That's when you get the low and outside curveball or the slider, whichever you prefer.
I mentioned how Texas has struggled in second halves this season. It's happening again. Snap through the hands of William Russ. He has time to get it off. and under the circumstances did pretty well. Downed at midfield by Dylan Haynes.
Just another self-inflicted wound. It's one that you certainly can handle, and we see this, and this is the dichotomy of the whole season for Texas right here. Snaps off face mask, snaps through the guy's hands.
Yeah, he's got to catch that one, punt. It was a little high, but still. Their special teams are brutal.
Third quarter's brutal too.
Yeah, it's been horrible all year long for them. Outscored by 28 in the third quarter this year. That was entering today's action. Put 7 more up for Oklahoma today. Trevor Knight runs away from Cedric Reed. Did well enough to chase him out of bounds for a 1-yard loss.
Quandre Diggs will get a sack on that play. This is for you that are like to keep up with your stats.
Texas came into the day with 20 sacks, 3rd in the nation in sacks per game. That's their first sack of the day. Only Utah and Virginia Tech have averaged more sacks per game than the Horns entering today. Another swing pass. This is K.J. Young. And I know you like that tackle too. Kept his head up and delivered a hit. Quandre Diggs.
They've done a good job of tackling in space most of the day, Sean. And just to go about keeping your head up, yes, but I like the fact that he doesn't drop to his knees on contact and he ran through the target.
Oklahoma, by comparison, has been an excellent 3rd down team this year. Knight throw a strike off the hands of K.J. Young. Hard to imagine he could have thrown it much better than that, but the redshirt freshman from Paris, California didn't catch the ball.
Again, his feet are in rhythm with his arm, and this has been the problem. When you have somebody over the top of Sterling Shepard, then you have to make a throw to a guy you need to count on, and right now KJ's not that guy because that was a great ball by Trevor Knight.
They don't have a, there's all kinds of movement on the snap there. They don't have a touchdown catch by a wide receiver other tthan Sterling Shepard this year.
And if they want to be a championship team,
number 19 offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They're going to have to be able to develop somebody, and somebody has to step up and start making those plays. And Trevor's got to be a little bit more consistent.
Well, the penalty brings it back to the 48-yard line. Jed Barnett. Fair catch. Jackson Shipley at the 11. ESPN tonight, an SEC doubleheader starting at 6 Eastern time. Number 7 Alabama trying to bounce back after the loss at Ole Miss last week, takes on Arkansas. That's college football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels. And then at 9, Bo Wallace and number 3 Ole Miss. Can they do it again? Tough task on the road in front of more than 100,000 down the street here in College Station. Both games are live on Watch ESPN. We'll be wearing that out in the airport on our way home from this great city tonight.
I'm looking forward to seeing Alabama handle that power running game of Arkansas. They'll get tested.
Texas has done nothing on offense here in the second half. And that play yields nothing for Malcolm Brown. Zach Sanchez the tackle. 4 punts. Total of 27 yards of offense in the half. That played 278 in the first half.
Wonder if they have any type of tempo that they might try or something that they work on. One, it helps them get in a rhythm, and 2, you can eliminate a lot of the thought process for Swoops being a young quarterback. Sometimes that's a lot to absorb. Maybe to get him into some type of rhythm, go with the up tempo.
Oklahoma had 1 first down in the first half. Texas has 1 in the second half. Texas has 2 in the second half. John Harris struggling for additional yardage.
Well, it takes 2. It takes a quarterback and a receiver, and John Harris working his feet in the zone, finding the open area, and allowing Swoops to find him, Todd.
And Swoops does a nice job in the pocket with his footwork, but he does it because he's protected well. This offensive line's had some issues today for Texas, but right there did a great job in protection.
Pitch to Malcolm Brown for about a 2-yard gain. likely be deemed a forward pass by the official scorers. Chuka and Dulaway made the stop, and we're down to a half minute to go in the third quarter of the Red River Showdown. Oklahoma and Texas for the 109th time. Really a must-win situation for the Sooners, with an eye toward being a factor in the college football playoff at the end of the year. Back after this and a word from your local ABC station.
ESPN is your home of the new college football playoff.
Bob Stoops reminded his team earlier this week that in 5 of the last 8 years of the BCS system, there was at least one team in the championship game that had at least one loss. With 2 more spots in a playoff this year, one loss isn't necessarily a killer. Eric Stryker forced the loss by Malcolm Brown, but 2 losses in Oklahoma really is a distant long shot to be a factor in that playoff at the end of the year. Right now, Chris, they're just thinking about trying to beat Texas.
Yeah, and they are, and Stryker's helping by optioning the optioner. He went ahead and faked like he was going to hit Swoops, which forced the pitch, and he was able to come off and make the play. That's a great individual effort by Stryker.
3rd down, 17. Swoops running out of time, got it off, and it's dropped by Marcus Johnson. Stephen Parker might have helped dislodge it. Looked like Johnson had his hands on it. Obo and Guacro with a good rush.
Right here, and again, he steps up into the pocket, showing the strength by having a pass rusher hanging on him. But this is why Texas right now on the point of the program is almost. They almost make plays. They're that close. They're close and almost. And until they get past that, they're going to struggle.
Oklahoma sideline's been warned. Bob Stoops livid at some of his people down there. That's a big point of emphasis this year in college football.
You got a coach in charge of that to get him back, guy. You got to get him back. Do your job.
Good snap and catch this time for William Russ. His 5th punt of the second half. Sterling Shepard. Couple of nifty moves. He advanced into Texas territory to the 47-yard line. Bryson Eccles made the tackle. 40-yard punt, 12-yard return. Sunday night on ABC. Don't miss an all-new episode of the compelling drama Resurrection. That's tomorrow night, 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central, right here on ABC.
Texas offense needs to watch that, get a little resurrection.
They've done nothing in the second half. Oklahoma leads 24-13 as they take over on offense. Trevor Knight couldn't break free from Nashawn Hughes, but made it to the 42, a gain of 5, and we're down to 14 minutes to go.
You see him take a shot down the field. They haven't taken many shots, especially there's been no attack into the middle part of the field by Oklahoma. Not even a threat of an attack.
Run 36 plays on offense to 64 for Texas. Pirine. First down inside the 35. Credit Hassan Ridgeway with the stop.
And I'm going to credit Tyrus Thompson, number 71, with the block, getting up to the second level on Steve Edmond, is able to drive him back. And when you have an offensive tackle 5 yards back into the defense, you're pretty good.
Low throw for Shepard. It was open. It's an incomplete pass off the grass.
One hopper. Again, whenever Trevor Knight gets in trouble, the mechanics break down, and his feet are not married to the arm, which our own Todd McShay loves to talk about.
As you said at the top of the telecast, you're not going to be good enough consistently if you complete 54% of your passes. Little screen, great call. Shepard weaving through the defense. And down at the 13-yard line. Dylan Haynes made the tackle, the backup safety.
It is a good call, especially when you have a blitz on and you're able to get linemen by letting the defenders rush the quarterback down the field to get hats on secondary people and linebackers to create a seam to bust through.
22-yard completion. Back to Samaje Perine, untouched into the end zone for Oklahoma.
Well, what we saw in the first half were guys getting off blocks. And here, they're not getting off blocks. You see the double team up to the second level. Again, a good job of Tyrus Thompson with the push. Then you have number 31, Jason Hall, with the whiff. But that's a great job by the offensive line starting to take command and wear down the Texas defensive front four.
They're talented in the starters, but a lack of depth on that defense has really hurt. You could see plenty of signs of fatigue in that replay. 13-yard touchdown run by the freshman from Pflugerville, Texas. The leading rusher for the season of the Big 12 entering today. He's had a quiet day, but he might have just scored the touchdown that puts this in the win column for OU.
ESPN College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
It'll wear you out. All kinds of activity here, the rides and the food. Don't think they'll be shooting any fitness videos here at the Texas State Fair anytime soon.
Not with all that fried food running around out there. And our guys were killing it yesterday. Fried peanut butter and jelly. Couldn't get enough.
They came back with energy today, despite devouring food that would ordinarily make you a little sluggish. Nick Hodgson, another touchback. Here's our Pacific Life game summary. With 12:50 to go. Story in the first half for Oklahoma. Nothing on offense, but they scored on a kickoff return and interception return for touchdowns. Been an up and down day for Tyrone Swoop. We're seeing signs of progress. After only 29 yards of offense in the first half, 163 here in the second half for Oklahoma.
They're living up to their third quarter collapse in Texas.
2 touchdowns in the last 3 possessions for Trevor Knight and OU. 2 quick strikes. The first one took 1:04 to go 63 yards. The last one 1:20 to go 47 yards. Marcus Johnson got drilled by Jordan Evans.
Well, he's getting better every game. And you can't teach us. And what I'm talking about is timing with your hips to be able to deliver contact. You see how he explodes and extends his hip into his target? Oh, just beautiful. I'm going to sit back and enjoy that one also. A lot of good tackling this week.
Swoops pass broken up by Zach Sanchez, intended for Johnson again.
Ball's late. It's real late. In the first half, he's throwing this when he's coming out of his break. Watch how long it takes for him to get there. Then Johnson stops. He has to keep coming back to the ball. Good timing, in my opinion, by Zach Sanchez to knock it away.
Last year when Oklahoma had Aaron Colvin, other teams tried to pick on Zach Sanchez. He wound up as a freshman All-American a year ago. Low snap handled by Swoops. 3rd down and 9, trying to set up a screen. Jonathan Gray. Try to extend the ball to get to the first down marker. The ball came out. Where are they going to mark it? The official was looking away and indicating that they should wind the clock. The Oklahoma player saying that's our ball.
If the ball carries forward, progress will stop. 4th down.
And I think if you're Texas, you have to go for it if you harbor a realistic chance of trying to come back and win the game.
Gino Grissom there first. Right here. There's the ball extended. And I think that's a good spot.
And he wasn't moving forward. He was trying to move the ball forward. But close. Quentin Hayes knocked it out. Charlie Strong is going to go for it on 4th down and less than a yard. Any chance of winning? They need several scores, down by 18. And they're going to run out of time. Now that's horrible. Now some of that has to be.
Good job, 10. Good job, 10.
On the sideline.
You have to get the play in. I mean, you got to understand you're in a two-play situation, 4-down territory. Run a quarterback sneak. You got 5 guys off. Run it. You got 248 pounds of quarterback.
They might need down the road. Out of the Texas timeout made necessary by the play clock about to expire. Must convert situation for Tyrone Swoops in the offense, and he faked the handoff. The Sooner fans thought they had stuffed the running back, but Swoops kept it and got the first down.
Good ball handling and patience right there by Swoops, not to give it on the read option and use his big body at 243 pounds to gain the first down.
This is also a time in the game, Chris. They have to pick up the pace of their operation here. I mean, the play clock's going down into single digits on every play, and you're down by 18 points. Swoops too long for John Harris.
I agree with that, Sean.
Let's go back to the play when Oklahoma thought they had taken the ball away. This is the end of the run by Jonathan Gray. His forward progress clearly had not been stopped there when the ball comes out, but the officials announced forward progress had been stopped. That's not reviewable for the booth. So Texas might have caught a break here. It was tough to tell from here, though, even if the recovery by Stephen Parker was in bounds for Oklahoma.
It looked like his helmet was on the ground out of bounds.
So it might have been a moot point anyway. We just wanted to put the period on the end of that. Marcus Johnson, the intended receiver, and now it's the Longhorn partisans who believe they were wronged. They thought Zach Sanchez was there prematurely. 3rd down and 10.
He's there exactly on time. He's really stepped up to the challenge. He's been called out a little bit, and he has trusted his training and his technique, arriving when the ball arrives.
4-man rush, and yet pressure on Swoops. Got away from Stryker and found John Harris for a first down. He slipped again on the soft field in OU territory at the 48-yard line.
There you go, Texas coming up with a tempo offense, and here comes Stryker again, beating with speed, and Swoops just fast enough to get away and get the point of keeping your eyes downfield and making a soft catchable throw to Harris.
Straight ahead goes Jonathan Gray. Gain of a couple. Stryker has 1 sack today, giving him 11 for his career. He's going to set the linebacker record at OU. The linebacker record for sacks in the career is Rocky Calmus with 14.
Has a bunch of harassments, I know that.
Here he comes flying in again. Wobbler caught. Marcus Johnson trying to run away, just never could get fully in stride. Made it to the 5-yard line, 1st and goal for Texas after a 41-yard play.
It's actually Quentin Hayes coming off from the safety position over the slot receiver, Todd. Good job of stepping in by Swoops.
Yeah, Marcus Johnson, great job with his pivot foot, catching that ball, the body control to make that first guy miss. Talked to Sean Watson, the play caller, said he's our big play guy after the catch.
Stumbled as he tried to pull away, gave the defenders a chance to run him down. Dom Alexander runs down Malcolm Brown. Under 9.5 to go. Texas 2nd and goal. Down by 18 points. Looking for their first score of the second half. Brown again. Corralled at the 1-yard line.
Now the go-to short yardage play has been this, where they run a little bit of a read option and let Swoops take it in.
And again, the tempo of the operation here. Substitutes trotting onto the field. Confusion personnel. There's a late runner into the huddle. And more confusion. And the play clock goes under 10. Stoops made a good decision to keep it. Touchdown Texas with 8.5 to go.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
Boy, the flag was virtually unseen by just about everybody in the stadium. It was on the near sideline. The line judge threw it and was only about a yard out onto the field.
You see they have too many guys in the backfield, and the flag will come all the way down here. But it's the right call. I mean, that's been their short yardage go-to play all day. You just have to have that personnel ready to go on the field organized so you can execute.
10th Longhorn penalty. And now it's 3rd and goal. He lofts it into the corner of the end zone. Harris, is he in bounds? Yes. Touchdown, Texas.
Yes, sir.
The toes. Possession of the ball.
The throw, too. Off the run, off the back foot, up and away. John Harris. Nifty. Field awareness.
He had a touchdown catch in their first 4 games of the year. Did not have one last week against Baylor, but now has another. Jordan Shipley's the only player in Texas history other than Harris to have a touchdown catch in each of the first 4 games of the year. Nick Rose kicks the extra point. So it's still a game at the Texas State Fair with 8:24 to go, and the Sooners up by 11. Texas back within 11. They went 75 yards in 12 plays. Tyrone swooped to John Harris, a 6-yard touchdown pass. If you missed the touchdown, video of it is posted on the SportsCenter app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you need it.
The dangerous Ross. He already has 1 return for a touchdown back deep. Alex, 91 yards earlier in the ball game.
Second kickoff return for a touchdown this year. He leads the nation in that area. Nick Rose will hope for a touchback, and he'll get it. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Just field awareness and having the ability to seal the deal with the catch, and the awareness to drag the toes to keep it in bounds and making a big play for the Horns. A well-thrown ball by Swoops.
So you missed the touchdown and you don't have the app, which you're going to get. We showed it to you again. So no matter what, you shouldn't have missed the touchdown by now.
I'm all about the app.
So let's see how Oklahoma plays it. They've had a couple of very short touchdown drives with quick tempo. Will they stay with the quick tempo, or they start thinking milk the clock here with a 11-point lead? 8 and change to go. Sterling Shepard carried on first down. 4-5. Little Sudoku on the sidelines.
2048. Another app.
Snapped it with 10 with 8 minutes to go. Pirine ran into Steve Edmond. We send you back to Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, Dr. Pepper conference update for the Big Ten, 4-1 Minnesota hosting 3-2 Northwestern after Northwestern tied the ball game. Ensuing kickoff, Jalen Myrick, 100-yard return, 24-17 Minnesota at home, 4th quarter.
Gophers are playing. Jerry Kill's got them going up there.
Oklahoma has 31 points. They haven't converted on 3rd down today. How is that possible? 0 for 8. They come after Knight with the rush, and they don't convert here. Deron Neal the catch, but he slipped down on the soggy turf. Just joining us, it rained hard overnight. We had some rain into this morning, and this grass field is soft.
It's all about the accuracy, Sean. We didn't give him a catchable ball. He couldn't make the transition because he had to stop his feet, come back for the football, forcing him to slip. That's where he's struggling.
Jed Barnett to punt. Jackson Shipley, plenty of room as he catches it. Not a coverage man nearby. And Jed Barnett, the punter, chased him out of bounds. But good field position for Texas. And we watched a lot of film, obviously, on both these teams this week. When you watch the Baylor game last week for Texas, you see the signs of improvement. You see it again today. They just need to stop doing the little things that wind up killing themselves.
It's all the self-inflicted wounds. It's using timeouts when you need to save timeouts because of the right personnel. If they can get that corrected, this is a team that's getting better offensively, and they have a defense that's good enough to win.
They'll start here at the 48-yard line of Oklahoma. Excellent field position. Swoops keeps it. Lots of running room. Gain of 12. First down. Taken down to the 36-yard line by Ahmad Thomas.
You know, the one thing about all these mistakes that they're making, Sean, the good thing if you're a Texas fan, and it won't happen under Charlie Strong, there's no quit in this football team.
Oh, some confusion at the junction. Brown did well to hang on to the ball. Jordan Evans held on to Brown long enough to take him down to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 5.
Actually, I think Swoops wanted to keep that one because he saw some daylight.
6 minutes to go. Swoops sees daylight again. Whoa, first down. Tried to go up and over. Dom Alexander got enough of him to upend him at the 23-yard line.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a heck of a play by Alexander, number 1, the linebacker, because he slips, yet he's able to get that left arm up there to catch the legs. Great play in open field. Never given up.
Made his first start for Oklahoma last year here and had a tremendous game. After the 9-yard gain by Swoops, Brown takes them down to the 19. Another tackle for Jordan Evans. What a linebacker group that is. Stryker and Evans and Alexander. Gino Grissom, the 3-4.
Yeah, they're outstanding as a unit. They play well together, and they're smart football players. Bad snap again.
Swoops managed to field it. Dumps it over the middle. Another first down. Dorian Leonard, freshman, his first career catch. Big target at 6'3" out of Longview, Texas. Longhorn fans starting to re-engage, starting to believe.
The front three, the linemen for Oklahoma, are dead tired. They won't come off the ball.
Texas does a much better job of getting the snaps off quickly. Swoops into the end zone. Touchdown, Horns. Just a minute 41 to go the 48 yards. They'll go for 2. Try to put themselves into a situation where a field goal could tie it. And they better hurry. You have to anticipate this situation and know that you're going to go for 2 when you score. Have a play and the personnel ready. They're going to have to burn another timeout. They didn't get it off.
I think Charlie got the timeout. He was out about the 23-yard line at the numbers.
Timeout. Texas.
You got to have that play. Every team has a play.
And he talks about discipline, and he deserves credit for what he's trying to do with these young men in terms of what he expects them on and off the field. But he and his staff need to be more disciplined. We've seen examples of that not just today, but in other tape that we've watched. You know, if you score a touchdown, you're going to go for 2. That play should be called, the personnel ready to go. What just happened should never happen.
Well, and Charlie will do a job of looking himself in the mirror, and the coach, and he's an honest guy, and he's going to evaluate, and they're not doing a good enough job of having that ready to go. You have 2-point plays ready to go in your pocket. If we score here, and that's when the drive starts. If we score here, Sean, we're going for 2. That decision's already been made.
That wasn't even a hard decision to make. I mean, that's a given at this juncture of the game. That's on him and his staff. That's a timeout they're going to perhaps need with under 5 minutes to go. Now what do you look for in a 2-point play from them?
Well, again, I think they haven't stopped swoops on the read option, and until they stop it, you keep going back to it. Or you get him out on the perimeter, give him a little run pass, or you go with your big wide receiver, Marcus Johnson, number 7, on a little fade.
I'd love to see that play where the quarterback fakes the handoff, starts to run toward the line like he's going to run. Tim Tebow used to then throw it. I think they'd be set up for that. He kept it and didn't get there. Good penetration. Torier Peterson, backup defensive lineman, lost his helmet on the play but made the stop, and it's a 5-point lead for Oklahoma. Huge stop for the Sooner defense.
Well, the timeout killed Texas this way. The defensive line for Oklahoma were dead tired. Now watch on this touchdown. Their effort's not even there. Guys are going to stand up all over the screen. They're not going to hustle to the football. The timeout allowed them to catch their breath, give them their second win to line up and make the stop on the same play. There's a big giant hole, but look at the defensive linemen. They're just walking and standing straight up. And when you're able to catch your second win, that was a gift that Texas gave Oklahoma for them to get their win back to defend the 2-point play.
Tyrone Swoops, he acknowledged, the coaches acknowledged they need better play out of their quarterback going forward, and they've gotten it today. Made a lot of big plays, both passing and throwing.
Effort's not their problem. No quit, that's not their problem. They're getting their confidence.
And if they lose by a small margin like this, there are so many plays, things that happened during this game that they're going to look back at. They had just eliminated a couple of them, a couple of the penalties, a couple of the assignment mistakes, breakdowns on special teams. It'll be a much different story for them. We're in onside kick prevention mode for a large degree, and the kickoff's out of the end zone. Here's Robert Flores in the studio.
Hey, Sean, some of you at the bottom of the hour will see Bryce Petty and Baylor take on TCU, while others will see Michigan State and Connor Cook in the Big Ten visit Purdue. That's coming up on ABC or ESPN2, depending on where you live. Sean.
All right, Robert, some game pressure now on the Oklahoma Sooners offense, which has done very little today. They have 200 yards of offense. They need to pick up some first downs with under 5 minutes to go, clinging now to a 5-point lead. Texas fans making it hard for Knight and the Sooner offense to communicate. Pirine got a good block from Aaron Ripkowski and got to the 31-yard line. Here's Todd McShay.
Well, guys, I was just thinking, this is where you have this massive offensive line. Averages 326 pounds a pop. You've got a run game that includes your quarterback in it. You've got to be able to execute the 4-minute drill, running the football to burn out the clock when you have a lead. I think Oklahoma's built for this, but tempo will have to be a part of it.
Yeah, they operate at their best when they move quickly, but they don't want to move quickly, protecting a 5-point lead.
You're just reading the safety, and they're changing the play away from the safety.
Pirine again. Cedric Reed made the stop, and a huge third down upcoming.
You know, if they had more confidence in their quarterback, they would throw it off the play action, because Texas is 10 deep inside 8 yards toward the line of scrimmage.
Sooners are 0 for 9 on third down. This would be the right time to finally convert. 3rd and 4. And a timeout called by the Sooners. Only one team in America has won a game this year without converting a third down. It was Nevada in a win over San Jose State when the Wolfpack went 0 for 10 on third down and still won. Here's a look at this week's rankings, brought to you by Allstate. Florida State up at the Harvard of Central New York and leading Syracuse by 18. Auburn and Ole Miss later. Or Auburn and Mississippi State later, pardon me. Mississippi State's actually taking on Texas A&M. I'll get that backwards.
Ole Miss. There you go.
Ole Miss.
We got a great
I don't care about the rankings, to be quite honest about. I'm more interested in this big third down play. Help me. Hey, what jumped out at you? Nothing good. Back to the game.
Here's what's jumping out to me. You have to play man-to-man in this situation. What athletes on the field are going to win their individual battles? Whoever does will win this ball game and win this down. Trevor Knight needs to make the play for the Sooners. There's man defense all over the board.
Texas showing pressure. They bring an extra rusher. Great call. Swing pass to Pirine. First down. Out of bounds to the 40-yard line. Collared by Steve Edmond. Their first third down conversion of the game, 9 yards.
Steve Edmond has the back Pirine. Good job of picking off Edmond right here. He's got no chance. This is where you have to have a switch call or some type of bunch call, Todd.
And Sterling Shepard brings so much attention because he is the go-to receiver. When he ran that shallow crosser, the linebackers were eyeing him up. That gave him some more room to throw that little outside route there.
Well, they picked Edmond. That's all they did. It's a great call.
Pirine. And now this is where the wastes of timeouts really hurts Texas. Ordinarily, you'd probably be using one right now. 3 minutes to go, but Charlie Strong only has one left.
Take your time if you're Oklahoma. And regardless of some of the mistakes made by Texas, I'm so impressed with their effort, their toughness, hanging in there, fighting till the end. It's a great game.
And for Oklahoma, can the Sooners win on a day when they are clearly nowhere near at their best? Pirine bounces forward and has a first down at the Texas 45. Jason Hall finally got him on the grass.
Well, when you want to be a great back, you got to make people miss, and you got to run through tackles. Jason Hall is a fine tackler for Texas, but Pirine has that powerful lower body. That's the difference between average and good to great, when you make people miss in the hole.
Now they'll let the play clock run all the way down. Two minutes to go. Pirine smothered. Malcolm Brown. Will Texas use the first? The only remaining timeout here. Apparently not. This week on Monday Night Football on ESPN, Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers are on the road. It's a tough NFC West Division battle against the St. Louis Rams. Monday Night Football, Niners-Rams, 8:15 Eastern Time on ESPN. That's also available on Watch ESPN. 8:15. Pirine ahead for a couple.
Got to use your timeout. There you go.
Charlie does. With 1:12 to go and another third down. This is absolutely a must stop for the Texas defense, or it'll be ball game over.
Vance Bedford, the defensive coordinator, does an outstanding job talking with big Malcolm Brown.
Came along with Charlie Strong from Louisville. Well, they were the second best scoring defense in the country last year, behind only the national champions Florida State. They know how to coach defense, that is for sure. Well, we showed you the rankings a moment ago. In the big game in just a few moments, Baylor and TCU down in Waco's number 5 and number 9. And Oklahoma will be watching that with interest. Undoubtedly probably cheering for a Baylor win. Undoubtedly, because they have already lost to TCU. Whereas if Baylor wins, the Sooners have a shot at the Baylor Bears down the road in Norman. Baylor comes to Oklahoma on November 8th.
Look at the toughness of Texas, and when they could surprise some people. And what's impressive to me, Sean, is the depth of this Big 12. I mean, two teams that are playing really well right now, Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Both of them are outstanding. Anybody can beat anybody any given week in this league.
TCU was very impressive last week at home against Oklahoma, but now they're on the road. Chance to seal it with one more first down. Let's see how aggressively Oklahoma plays it. 3rd down and 10 from the Texas 46. Pirine trying to run people over. Down with 1:05 to go. Jason Hall, Steve Edmond combined on the stop, and again excruciating for the Longhorns that they don't have any timeouts left, and they can take it down to about 24 seconds on the game clock.
Good clock management by the Sooners. A great safe call too on that 3rd and short with known man coverage, understanding they had to match up with Pirine on Edmond, and by alignment alone he has no chance when you run a double pick. Edmond can't get over the top to cover.
They'll let the play clock go down to 1 and use the timeout. Pirine had only 18 yards rushing through 3 quarters. He has 44 for Coach Stoops in this quarter alone. Oklahoma, we had some fun with the rankings when I couldn't figure out who was playing whom earlier, but those rankings are important for Oklahoma. They fell only down to number 11, so very much in the 4-team college football playoff at the end of the year, but some very tough games left. As you said, the good thing for them, they have Kansas State in Norman, they have Baylor in Norman as well, and they have Oklahoma State in Norman. So the toughest games left on their schedule will all be at home, where they've been virtually unbeatable over the 16 years under Bob Stoops.
And you know, but I think there's signs, and they know that there's signs, and they have to get better and more balanced offensively, because if they don't have a plan to attack through the air, down the field, teams that are really good defenses are going to make it very difficult for them to move the football on a consistent basis.
Fired up on that sideline over there. Saw the amazing stat. They haven't lost back-to-back regular season games since Bob Stoops' first year in 1999. They'll punt it on 4th and 7, and a false start against the Sooners.
False start. Number 6, offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Stand on Taylor. We believe they have 2 number 6s. Definitely Taylor. The other one's a backup quarterback who's redshirted.
Might have caught a break there too, because that punt was going to go into the end zone. You want to have your punter one step. That means get the ball off as quick as you can and avoid the block at all cost.
They have a veteran punter in Jed Barnett. You expect him to handle that situation well. He did get it off with room to spare. Jackson Shipley had no chance as it sails into the end zone. 18 seconds to go. No timeouts for Tyrone Swoops.
What a great game, though. My first, and I loved every second of it. The rivalry, the toughness. Kids playing their hearts out. It's college football defying.
They'll start from the 20-yard line. Oklahoma didn't score any points on that last possession, but they took 4:39 off the clock. Low snap to Swoops. Got rid of it quickly, incomplete. Hoping for a catch and run for Jackson Shipley with Zach Sanchez covering. 14 seconds remaining. Oklahoma leading by 5.
The problem they're going to have getting this off, the striker was close, but he got tackled from behind, which they let it go. But watch number 19, because he's smelling sacks right there at the top of your screen.
A little surprised the deepest defenders for Oklahoma are a little bit deeper away from the line of scrimmage. They're only about 15 yards back. Swoops, first down. Now he needs to get down. There's a flag down. He gets out of bounds with 33 seconds to go. Well, there is a flag back behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Number 65, offense. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul.
Marcus
Good play.
Hutchins.
Yeah, Marcus Hutchins gets his hands outside, see his arm outside, and is able to get the takedown. You got to have the discipline to let him go. Let him go. Especially in this situation. Stoops would have served himself well by getting down, saving times after he got the first down to stop the clock.
11th Texas penalty, 10 of them against this offensive unit. Oklahoma's been penalized just 3 times. Last play. In all likelihood. Now the deepest defenders are back at their own 40-yard line. Stoops got it off. They'll try it a bunch of laterals. Shipley fell down. And Jonathan Gray picked it up. Apparently they let that part of the play stand. Looked like Shipley might have been down, but it doesn't matter. The game's over. And Oklahoma defeats Texas for the 4th time in the last 5 years to go to 5-1. And got an absolutely critical conference victory as well. Texas 2-4, their worst start through 6 games since 1956. When they were 1-5 under Ed Price. They went 1-9 that year, and the next year the legendary Darrell K. Royal took over as head coach of the Texas Longhorns and got things straightened out and then some. Let's go down to Todd on the field.
Well, it was a little bit of a tale of 2 halves. You told me at halftime that you guys had to do a better job on 3rd down defensively. What was the difference?
Well, we just executed. We had some breakdowns in the first half, really mentally. Second half, through the 3rd quarter, we didn't, and then late again, we just didn't execute very well in some 3rd down situations on defense.
So on the other side of the ball, 3rd down was a problem. You actually didn't get a 3rd down converted until the last drive of the game. What's going on with your offense?
Well, again, they did give Texas credit. They did a nice job getting to us and getting us in too many long yardage 3rd downs.
All right, thank you, Coach.
10th win against Texas for Bob Stoops, more than any Oklahoma coach. And Ross's kickoff return early on, a huge play in this game. Sanchez scored an interception return for the defense. The offense is still in need of improvement for Oklahoma.
Much improvement, especially throwing the ball down the field.
Final score, the Sooners 31, the Longhorns 26. Now for Todd McShay, the birthday boy Chris Spielman, our producer Bo Garrett, our director Derek Mobley, our wonderful ABC crew. Sean McDonough saying so long from the Cotton Bowl in the Texas State Fair in Dallas, Texas. We'll join John Saunders in the studio after these messages.